All right, another week begins, and this is Wake Up Nigeria. We're ready to take you by storm.
And if you're not yet in that place where you feel like we do, it's okay, it's fine. After all, that's why we're here. We're here to get you ready for just about anything.
All right, it's Wake Up Nigeria, and our aim is to spice up your Monday and take it from the monotonous to something to look forward to.
Don't forget, we're streaming live on tvcontinental.tv and on Facebook. Look us up on TVC Connect. Those comments need your hashtag WakeUpNigeria.
All right, so tell me, Titi, how was your weekend?
Oh, wow, super packed.
Yeah.
So much happened this weekend.
I saw you on Instagram, doing your thing, on fleek, taking photographs.
That's how he stalks me on the weekend. Don't mind him. But, well, hey, you know, they say there's no rest for the wicked. We're cooking up an amazing show for all of you.
That's true, and you know how we do it. Wake Up Nigeria, breakfast, everything.
Food, completely all up to Beyonce this morning. I don't know what he has cooked up, but we need him to cook up a storm.
And he's right here with MM.
How you doing?
Good morning.
All right, so let's get to it, Titi. Now, Nigeria is gradually coming out of recession, so we'll be talking about business opportunities that you can tap into. And Lamborghini will be joining us for a performance and a chat.
And Brendan Nsikan will be on the show to talk about the relevance of pageantry in Nigeria.
And finally, JoJo Body Beats will also be giving us a performance later on the show.
I love that name, JoJo Body Beats. Doesn't it just have that ginger to it? Like you just know something is good.
Body Beats, you know it's about dancing.
Exactly, exactly.
You know, over the weekend I saw it was MBG. You were there, right?
Yes, I was.
He was everywhere this
weekend. You were everywhere.
Comic-Con, MBGN, I mean, just...
Okay, so the major news has to be Flavor. When the winner was announced, Flavor was like, yeah.
Are you kidding me? Should we expect another baby mama drama?
You see, that's the whole point. So there was this meme, man. The announced winner, Flavor was like,
yeah.
And I'm like, seriously, you guys should leave this guy.
Congratulations to the
be
winner,
schooled on the importance of pageantry in Nigeria, and that's why Brendan is coming. You guys
But
will
you know
know
something quite that struck me? The lady who won has freckles.
Yeah, she does.
So, and I was like, wow, so somebody that's even this flawed can win. That means
Are
that...
you kidding me?
Freckles are not really a flaw.
Okay, no. Pardon the word, but I mean, you know, in the eyes of people that, you know...
Yeah,
you know,
I understand what you mean, because
so
in this part of the world, it feels like an escape from albinism.
Really? You know, something like so. No, but I was excited. I was like, wow. So that means that you know you don't have to have that perfect picture look to.
Thumbs up to them, actually.
But Mike,
She's
I
a
now
beautiful
understand
girl.
why. I now understand why Mike is single. You know,
what's your
talking
own
about
Always looking at
freckles.
yeah.
Are you kidding? So it was 10 years ago that I was in MBGN.
Yeah.
I just had to put that out there.
When
you know, I just had to
what
put
stage
it out
did you
there.
She was Miss Lagos, people.
What stage did you get to?
Top 10.
Top 10.
Yeah.
Top 10.
That's
And
cool.
best traditional costume is still somewhere on my shelf. I'm just saying, you know. I don't have to put it out there. But it was really nostalgic for me, and it was great to see new young ladies being celebrated.
And to catch up with the other
older
guys that you saw.
Queens.
How was your
Did you say
weekend,
guy?
Yomi?
My weekend was good. Slept, woke up, food, and then slept and woke up and more food, and then church.
Very
I wish I had that.
Boring,
Abi?
Boring.
What's wrong with you guys? That's the best kind of weekend.
But you know what we do every Monday,
Best kind of
right?
weekend.
What?
We find out updates about us.
All of us.
We're doing well.
Okay.
I'm now called Mama Community. That's my new name.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, basically. I don't know where that came from. Really. So, but we're doing very well. I had my first pregnancy scare over the weekend. And I don't know if I should talk about it. But
Maybe not today.
Maybe not today. When you calm down a bit.
Yeah, but I quickly did my research and I was like, oh yeah, it's normal. So I was like, oh,
Thank
cool.
God for Google.
Good.
All right, so we have to go straight to the news now. We know IK is on standby for that.
Right, Titi, thank you very much. Now, here is the update. Borno State government has assured Igbo residents of their own safety in spite of the growing crisis in some parts of the southeast. Deputy Governor Maman Dakwa made the promise while hosting Igbo leaders at the government house in Maiduguri. Head of Igbo community in Borno State distanced the group from Nnamdi Kanu's agitation for the formation of Biafra Republic. And the federal government believes that indigenous people of Biafra, it's being used by opposition to destabilize the government. Now, Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, said this at a news conference in Lagos. In his words, IPOB is being sponsored by a coalition of the politically disgruntled and treasury looters whose intention was to divert attention from the efforts of the current administration. Justifying his claims, the minister recalled that IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu was the same person who, during former President Goodluck Jonathan's administration, advocated the unity of Nigeria. He therefore wondered why Kanu would suddenly change into an IPOB monster who was rather bent on dividing the country and setting the nation ablaze. The dusk-at-dawn curfew imposed in Jos Plateau State has now been relaxed. Governor Simon Lalong approved the relaxation that was on Sunday. The governor's media aide Samuel Nanle said it takes effect between 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. on a daily basis following the improved security in the state after last week's incident. Governor Lalong said security agencies would continue to patrol flashpoints within the Jos Bukuru metropolis, and he asked people to go about their lawful businesses. In other stories, the National Vice Chairman of the People's Democratic Party in the Southeast, Southwest, says that the recent meeting of Yoruba leaders in Ibadan is a step towards projecting the voice of the Yorubas. Dio Lafeso, who threw his weight behind a restructuring of the country, says no meaningful development can be recorded if Nigeria is not restructured economically and politically. But non-partisan group Yoruba Youth Congress believes that the growing calls to restructure Nigeria is ill-timed. The national leader of the group, Wale Alaki, says that the loudest advocates of restructuring are those who manipulate the narrative to suit their own selfish interest. He believes Nigeria can overcome any challenge if various institutions of government are strengthened to work at optimum level. President Muhammadu Buhari has left the country to attend the 72nd session of the United Nations General Assembly in New York. Presidential spokesperson Femi Adesina says President Muhammadu Buhari was accompanied by the governors of Zamfara, Ebonyi and Ondo states. Adesina says the higher point of the president's visit will be his participation in the general debate, during which he would deliver the country's national statement. The president is also expected to hold a bilateral meeting with the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres, that is, U.S. President Donald Trump and other world leaders as well. His return date was not disclosed. Well, that's the update now. Let's bring you a weather update to help you, of course, plan the rest of your day. It's the start of the week, and the rest of the crew, Titi, and of course, the rest of the crew will be back.
It's still Wake Up Nigeria, and it's time for us to go to sports.
Yeah, Super Mike.
It looks like a really super sports
This is the
anchor
ginger
today.
part of the show. Wake up! Why do I remember
Please,
Tony
what was
now?
Arsenal and Chelsea? I mean, what were they playing yesterday? Just lackluster football. Like, I don't understand.
Really? I don't know why Yomi thinks so. I think it was quite exciting. One of the
I wasn't
most
impressed.
Exciting nil-nil draws I've ever seen in quite a while.
I mean, Arsenal, you know, they pulled their weight a little bit, but
Sure, there's nothing like nil-nil draw. It's like a guy that said 1-1 goal, let's draw. Anyways, good morning. I am Mike Messikenoy. This is Sports Update. Gennady Golovkin's world middleweight title fight with Saul Canelo Alvarez ended in a controversial draw. After a closely fought bout in Las Vegas, one judge scored it 118-110 for Alvarez, another 115-113 for Golovkin, and the third a 114-114 draw. There were boos when the decision was announced at the T-Mobile Arena, and both boxers shook their heads. Kazakh Golovkin retains his WBA, WBC, and IBF titles and remains unbeaten in 38 fights. His Mexican opponent started and finished an absorbing fight, the stronger, and also produced some of the more eye-catching shots. And then on to F1, Lewis Hamilton claimed a stunning victory at the Singapore Grand Prix after pole-seater Sebastian Vettel crashed out following huge early drama. Kimi Raikkonen and Max Verstappen both crashed out at turn 1, while Vettel sustained significant damage to his Ferrari in a dramatic start to the race in very difficult conditions at the Marina Bay circuit. Vettel's car was left badly damaged from the early clash with Raikkonen, and Verstappen and the pole-seater crashed out himself on lap 2, spinning into a wall away from a leading pack as Hamilton assumed a shock lead. And then on to football. It was starting off with La Liga, as Barcelona forward Ousmane Dembele will be out for up to 4 months with a hamstring injury. The club's record signing, who joined from Borussia Dortmund in a deal which could be worth $180 million, hobbled off during Saturday's win over Getafe. A statement on the club's website said the 20-year-old France international had ruptured his tendon in the femoral bicep in his left thigh. It added Dembele will have surgery in Finland this week. Dembele was making his first league start for Barcelona and his third overall. He came on as a substitute in a 5-0 league win over Espanyol, started the 3-0 Champions League victory over Juventus on Tuesday, and lasted 29 minutes against Getafe. Now, if I'm going to spend 180 million on you, Oga, you must play. You go play. If now one leg you carry, Oga, enter the pitch. Come on, man. 180 and 4 months out, man.
It's crazy.
4 months out.
Sad.
It's not his fault, though.
Okay, you go play 180. All right. And then on to Serie A. Paulo Dybala marked his 100th game for Juventus with a hat-trick as they maintained their 100% Serie A record by beating Sassuolo. The Argentine's opener was a stunning first-time shot from outside the area before he poked home a second and curled in a free kick for his third. Matteo Politano scored in the second half for the home side. Inter Milan have also won all 4 league games this season after the victory over Spal. And then on to the EPL. David Luiz was sent off late on for Chelsea as Arsenal earned a deserved point against the champions. Defender Luiz received a straight red card for a late challenge on side Kolasinac in the 87th minute after the Gunners had earlier had Squadron Mustafi's headed goal disallowed. The Blues' best chance came from Pedro, who drew a save from Petr Cech when through on goal in the first half. The result ended Arsenal's 5-match losing streak in the Premier League at Stamford Bridge. Now, that was quite a very, very silly red card, if you ask me. But then that's where we draw the curtains on the first part of Sports Update. Anyways, Titi and Yomi, take it away. Did you see that red card?
Yeah.
By the way, very stupid red card, I must say. And I'm not mincing words. I chose that word. He can have a very crazy attitude when he plays, David Luiz, and it was well deserved.
Yeah.
All right, take it away.
Thanks so much, Mike. So we got the papers
Yeah.
this morning, and you've got The Guardian, Titi?
Yes, I do. Federal government alleges bid to externalize pro-Biafra struggle, urges Western nations to disregard agitators. Military operation not targeted at IPOB, say governors. That's how they start off on The Guardian. And it says here, how Nigeria wastes billions on data capturing. Banks spend 45 billion naira on BVN. SIM card registration gulps 46.1 billion naira. Those are the main stories on the cover of The Guardian. All
right, then we're going straight to the cover of The Nation. Diazani, EFCC traces $1.5 billion to Swiss bank. Amazing. And then why we clamp down on IPOB Kanu by federal government. That's the major headline on the cover of The Nation. And then looters opposition behind group. IYC urges talks, IPOB chief in Southeast. And then also, cash crunch threatens equities market. And then finally, police arrest 11 pupils for cultism in Lagos. All on the cover of The Nation.
On the cover of The Punch, Treasury looters disgruntled, politicians sponsoring IPOB, say federal government. You can read up about that on pages 2 and 48 of The Punch. Says group writing to Western governments alleging victimization. No hiding place for IPOB members in Anambra, says Obiano. EFCC inspects Dezani's 7 billion naira Dubai properties and move for forfeiture. That's on page 2 of The Punch. And 50 killed as boat capsizes in Niger State. That's on page 15 of The Punch.
And then on the cover of the Daily Sun, Biafra, politicians behind IPOB, federal government. And then Ezife Balarabe Musa, ACF scribe, checkers others react. And then 50 killed in Niger boat mishap. That's a sad one there. And then finally, Buhari briefed on security in Borno, Kano, Sokoto, and departs for the UN. And of course, Plateau relaxes curfew on the cover of the Daily Sun.
The cover of this day says, federal government sets bid round guidelines for award of 46 marginal oil fields. Moles setting aside some for discretionary award to Niger Delta firms. Targets $300 million in revenue. That's the main story on the cover of this day. And it also says here, Lai Mohammed, Treasury looters sponsoring IPOB. 59 members of separatist group to be prosecuted. Troops withdraw from Abia. Jos curfew relaxed. Youth push for dethronement of Kanu's father.
All right, and then on the cover of the Vanguard, federal government kicks as oil, electricity workers begin strike. National Assembly to get 2018 budget next month. And then 50 persons die in boat mishap. And then finally, IPOB members to face trial as terrorists. That's from the police there. All on the cover of the Vanguard.
And that's it on the headlines on the newspapers for now. It was proudly supported by Dettol. Be 100% sure.
Let's get to the kitchen to find out what MM and Beyonce have for us this morning.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, Beyonce. It's another week.
I lost my voice.
What did you do over the weekend? What did you use your voice for over the weekend?
My aunt had a 60th birthday party yesterday, and so I was involved in the, I'll call it serene. so it really tired me out.
All right, so what are we making this morning?
Today, basically what we're making is, I would call it a minimalistic kind of breakfast. This is when you look into your house and you're...
That sounds very economical, minimalistic.
Exactly, like that's the whole essence, you know. As much as we try to use all the ingredients in the world here, we're also trying to look at how to make use of as little ingredients as possible.
Okay.
When you are... So at home, when you're, I won't say stranded, when you don't want to go out, you know, and you're like, okay, you know what, I just want to make do with what I have. We're still looking at making a fantastic dish,
okay,
and looking classy and still, you know, making use of just as little ingredients as possible. Okay. So today we are going to be redefining bread and plantain and egg.
Interesting.
Yes.
Redefining it.
Yes,
in
we're
what way?
redefining it. It now becomes a frittata. Okay. Basically, we are used to a frittata just being egg-based with probably. I can remember the second meal I made here was a sweet potato frittata. Yeah. So it's basically made of, a frittata is made up of egg that looks baked. It comes out. I wanted to call it dodo soya cake, but I decided I wanted to go with frittata.
All right.
So basically, we are making use of a staple. Wherever in the evening, everyone at one point in time, they just want to stop at what do they?
Sports.
A suya spot, and they're like, oh, let me just have suya. Now, we're making use of suya also. So this is not just redefining plantain and egg. We are also adding a staple from the our staple. You know, we use suya a lot. So we are making it look really nice and bringing everything together. So basically, like I said, it's a minimalistic breakfast. We're just making use of 4 ingredients. We're making use of plantains, we're making use of crushed chilies, eggs, and suya. So basically, what we are doing first is we're frying the plantains. After we fry the plantains, then we make the frittata. The frittata is just break the eggs, season it, add crushed chilies to it. Obviously, we know the suya is not hot because the yaji spice is not hot. Okay. Yes. So when we add crushed chilies to it and salt, and we put it on heat, like with a little bit of vegetable oil. We slowly cook it. That's how a frittata is made. Is either it's popped into the oven or it's made on a stove. So you slowly cook it, and you see that when you seal the lid, you see it rises like it becomes like a cake. It looks like a cake. So basically, we are going to be adding the star ingredients here is going to be the plantains and the suya. Yes. All right.
I am. Okay, fingers crossed on our plantain frittata.
Plantain suya frittata.
Oh, plantain suya frittata.
Yes.
All right. Well, you know, there was a time, there was this trending question everyone was asking. Why suya sold at night?
Okay.
Why?
So I was with someone yesterday and we drove past the suya spot and she said, this one is selling, he's selling his mother. He's selling suya in the afternoon.
Really?
Yes, he was selling
really,
suya around
why should suya be sold only at night?
Okay.
I mean, it could be sold any time of the day.
This is not to stereotype anyone, but there's always this question to that. Have you ever seen an Igbo man sell suya?
No, it's always the houses.
Yes.
You know,
this is not to stereotype anyone, but yes, it's just, this is what we've come to accept suya as. It's sold by the houses and it's sold in the night. So let's get right to frying the plantains. Just get ripe plantains. We're just going to cut it in circles. Okay. Then we see.
But you know, this is not the regular way we chop our plantain.
How do you chop plantains?
I chop it this way.
No. Okay, because I want it to look round on the frittata like that. So it looks like you could call this frittata. You could call it dodo suya cake. You could call it dodo pizza. You know, anything you want to call it. Okay. Yeah. So you can still look, fantastic with as little ingredients as possible. Okay.
Well, like you said, you're helping us redefine our plantain and egg. Our regular plantain and egg.
Yes. You just don't need to fry the plantain and fry the egg every time. You can just do this and just have it at once at the same time. You don't need to, it's too much stress.
Growing up, every time we had plantain and egg, we'd always have it with ugi.
Really?
Yeah. So I grew up with that, that idea that plantain and ugi was like a perfect combination.
I've never tried it.
You should. It's a really nice.
I really want to know.
It's very nice.
Some time ago on Twitter, I asked a couple of my followers what is their weirdest food combination. If I got a lot of weird, my weirdest food combination has been let me see. I like bread, akara, and ugi at the same time.
Ooh, I love bread and akara. And ugi. You just slice the agege bread though, not sliced bread. I don't like my akara with sliced bread. It has to be agege bread.
So we are frying the plantains right now.
Okay.
So
does it have to be golden brown or just
golden brown is the standard?
Oh, okay.
But I personally, I like my plantain a little bit brown.
Okay.
Yeah, but golden brown is the standard. There's a standard for frying anything we need to fry.
Can you also chop it? Like, I mean, like
you could chop it anyhow you like it. You could chop it into tiny
little cubes.
You
Yeah.
could chop it in slants. The way we chop it.
Yeah.
You can chop it anyhow, you know. But I have something in my head I want, at the end of the day, I want it to look a certain kind of way.
Okay.
That is why I cut it into slices. Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me of, you know, when you're having like your pizza,
Yeah.
and then you have like those sausages.
You know, that is how I want it to look like.
Not
the
sausage pepperonis.
Yeah.
Yes, on
that is exactly how I want it to look like. So basically, what next we're doing is, we're going to be breaking the eggs into this place.
Well, that's a lot of eggs, though.
Yeah, you need not too much, but you probably, you don't have to use everything.
Okay.
Yeah? You could use 5 eggs, 6, but you want it to, if you don't use enough eggs, it won't come out the way you want it to. It won't come out like a cake.
Oh.
It might just be a little bit flatter.
Okay.
So we're going to be making use of about 6, 7 eggs.
Is it just me, or I do not like other people frying my eggs?
Really?
Yeah.
I am open to people cooking for me because basically I do not like to eat what I cook. This is it. I do not find it interesting because I know I will taste, you know. So I like to try out meals. I like to eat out a lot because I feel like eating out more, it exposes me more to other techniques of cooking.
So, by the way, I saw your tweet yesterday on Bae doesn't have to. All she just has to do is wake up to breakfast.
You know, it's a problem that you're following me.
Really? Okay.
Yes, but basically, I'll be doing a lot of cooking, but it won't take away the fact that I really want her to cook too, because I appreciate people's cooking more.
But don't you think you're going to criticize her cooking a lot?
Yes, I've always got...
I think the salt should have been a little less.
No.
Or the salt should be a little more.
So that is it. If I go to a restaurant, I'm paying for this. So yes, I'll be more critical. Unlike, okay, when someone cooks for me.
You see why we should just leave the cooking to the women?
So yes, we've broken our eggs.
Okay.
Let me get...
Wicks?
Yes, a whisk. So our chilies.
That's a lot.
Yeah, a lot. Our salt.
Can you add milk to this mix? Because I just pictured milk. Maybe coconut milk.
You know, you could add milk to it, but I don't think I want milk in this.
Okay. Why?
If I'm just going to make a plain omelette, I'd go with milk, but this would take away from what I want to achieve.
Okay.
So I really won't go with milk.
Okay.
So salt, egg. So basically, I think I should just use all the eggs, you know. There are a lot of plantains in there. So let's have fun.
Okay. So take us through the ingredients for those joining us.
So we are just using 4 ingredients in this. Basically, we could use more ingredients.
What are we making, first of all?
Yes, we are making a dodo, suya frittata. So we could actually make use of, I could make use of 10 ingredients.
Okay.
But at the same time, we are trying to always achieve something in the kitchen. We are not just trying to cook and everybody sees, oh, you made use of 15 ingredients. We are trying to see how you could actually even make something wonderful out of nothing. So we are making use of just 4 ingredients: crushed chilies, plantains, eggs, and suya. And the reason we're adding suya is no reason, because I choose to add suya.
Well, you can decide to use your leftovers from,
so
you know,
basically we are looking at
your Sunday nights hangouts,
you know,
or
like
Sunday nights paparazzi, whatever.
So basically, fry your plantains, your eggs are here, your salt and red chilies. Then you'll see when you're about to start, you put it with the vegetable oil, you pour your eggs. You don't let the pan be too hot.
Anyway, I am looking forward to the frittata process, how that, you know, how
turns
that's going
out,
to be, how it turns out. So, but we'll go on a quick break. When we return, Yomi will be having a discussion with Mukta Mohammed. Stay with us.